Hey, what's up guys? We are in the 2022 WRX, the VB WRX platform, and I want to talk about something today that's been driving me crazy with my car, and that is the stock shifter. There's a lot of slop and play in it, specifically like when you guys are in gear. So this is first gear. Look, even in gear, it feels cheap, it feels plastically. I don't like the long throw, especially in like third's a little bit better, but it just leaves a lot more feeling desired compared to a lot of other cars on the market. So we're going to install the STI short shifter, which I have over here on the bench. Let's go unbox it and check it out. So you guys can see we're pretty tight down here, but everything fits perfectly within like a ½ inch. So we're good to go. Let's unbox the STI short shifter. And I've had this in the garage for like 6 months. I've just been busy with so many other projects and I'm just too lazy to get underneath the car. So Subaru STI short shifter. And I picked this up from Subi Speed. And I already popped it open and took a look at it. So let's go ahead and pull it open. I like how the little cardboard here has got a little punch out for like the shift. And let's get it fully installed and compare it versus the OEM one. So this is a full assembly, so it's not just like a little drop-in shift knob, it's the whole assembly, as you guys can see here. It's got your reverse and everything there. So you got a metal cover under the bottom here, and then you got all your shift linkage in there that's going to connect to the car. So we'll start taking stuff apart. I'll show you guys everything you guys will need to know to fully remove the stock one and install this STI shifter. If you guys are curious what this is on the table behind us, this is a pair and front mount intercooler for the VB WRX. If you guys haven't had the chance to see the unboxing video, this is it. I'll put a link in the description down below and a tag up above for you guys to check this out. And I'm going to be installing this later today as well. I'm managing like 3 different projects. I also have the turbo inlet as well, so that video will be coming as well. You guys stay posted. So hit the thumbs up and make sure you guys subscribe if you want to watch all these videos. I will be releasing a ton of content for the VB WRX platform. So it's really too bad that Subaru didn't release an STI for the VB WRX platform, but I figured I could get some STI bits on the car, so we picked up a set of GR STI wheels off of a 2011 STI. We've got the STI short shifter. Eventually I'd like to do the brakes, but I'm waiting for an entire bolt-on kit that's not so expensive with adapters and stuff like that. Probably just the 4-piston Brimbos up front and the 2 pistons in the back, because the 6-piston kit is just ridiculously expensive, but we'll see. That'll come later on. So it comes with this bottom plate cover with a weather seal on it, and then let's take a peek underneath the bottom of the shifter. Made in Japan. So in today's video, we're going to measure the shift throw between the two. So here, let's just go ahead and look. And then once it's installed, I'll replay this video and we'll get like a good comparison between the two. Also the shifter height. So you guys pay attention to the height. Pretty much looking at it flat on. It's about as high as the bottom of this plastic on the bottom screen. So we'll compare the heights. I think it's going to sit a little shorter. We're going to go ahead and remove the shift knob. Twist up and off. Get it out of the way. And we need to get access to the hardware underneath. We're just going to pull right up from the back and on the sides. This comes right up and out. There's a couple clips in the front here where the rubber storage area is. Work your shifter boot up and over. This just comes out. See, these are all the little clips that hold it in. So we'll throw this out of the way. And then I'll bring you up here. Let's take a look at what we're going to dismount. 12mm bolts on either side. We got 1 here and there in the back, and then 2 in the front as well. So we're going to remove those. So there's a few screws down there. What you're going to want to do is kind of get your fingers underneath the center console. You can pull that up to make a little bit more access to get down into here. So now you can easily reach a screwdriver into here. Twist these out. So I've got my little headlamp on, and that really helps for seeing down in these little projects when you're working, but you can see that we've got both the screws removed from down below, and we've got access to these 12mm bolts. So we're going to use our Milwaukee. Alright guys, let's come under the car. And my car's on a lift, so I got plenty of space, but you guys could do this from ramps or jacks, of course. I've got my little headlamp here. If you guys don't have one, I'll put a link in the description down below for Amazon. I highly recommend it. 12mm bolts, so you got 6 of them. I took the 2 in the front, 2 in the back off. So I'm gonna go ahead, remove the last couple, and then you can access the bottom of the shifter assembly. And out of the way, you want to be careful not to scratch the paint. So now you guys can see that stuff is all loosened up there. So underneath, guys, you got a couple of shifter linkages that you need to pop off. So you got this back one over here, and then there's this little, that clip, those 2 back pieces. Slide that off, and then you can pop that out. And then there's a bunch of little nuts around here. So we're going to remove all these nuts, and then we'll pop that up and off. So there's a few plugs that hold like some harnesses on each side. And work those out. Lift up and out. So there we are, now we can see underneath. So what I ended up doing to get the shifter linkage off is I put a set of pliers on here, and then I'm basically just using like a flat-headed screwdriver, and then this will give me enough of an angle to use those to kind of pry this piece off, which is kind of like a brake, what holds like a brake line onto your car, if you've ever done brake lines. So that's the trick I used. Our linkage can just pull through here, and then we can put the STI lower bracket on. Okay, so looking at these, so this is the STI shifter, this is the OEM shifter. You can see the shift lever itself. This is like straight up and down where the STI one is kinked. Really the only other thing that I see is this says STI on it, and this one does not, the one that I took off. I can't tell if these look any different. So they look pretty much exactly the same. PA66 GF33. PA66 GF33. So it's actually the exact same model number. This one just has STI etched into it, so I don't even think that we have to remove this bottom plate. We could have saved a little bit of time and just left it in the car. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll do the reinstall. I'm not gonna record any of that because it's the same exact process as removal. So let's get this thrown into the car, and then let's see if there's any difference. The one thing I would recommend for this job, guys, if you don't have wobble sockets, make sure you get some of these when you're working on the bottom side. This gives you the flexibility to kind of get in those little tight nooks and crannies. So this would make the job a lot easier. I'd recommend those. I'll put a link in the description down below. So I've had this shifter in the car for over a week now, and the shift throws are much shorter. It's a lot crisper too. It feels notchier as it goes through the gears. And the biggest difference that I noticed, if you pay attention, I'll throw some B-roll up of the shifter. You can see that the way that it sits here, that it's actually off center because there's that kink in the shifter itself, so it puts the shifter more towards the left. which specifically helps me shift into fifth. I don't know if you guys kind of notice, like for myself, I'm kind of taller, so I have to sit back and farther away. I'm 6'1", and I always notice that when I shift, like shifting from second to third is fine, but when I go from fourth gear to fifth, the shifter with the OEM one was farther away, so I always found myself struggling to reach fifth gear. And sometimes I felt like in order to hit fifth gear, I'd actually have to kind of lean forward from the seat to get my arm to get that full extension. And with the STI shifter, that is gone. So let's just compare the shift throw from first to second, and I'll put the video of the stock one up there. And as far as it cleaning up the shifter feel when it's in gear, it's still got a little bit of slop. It's better than the OEM one, but if you guys want to get that slop taken away, to me it doesn't bother me, but if you want to remove it, you can get like the Perrin shift stopper, and I'll throw that up on the screen as well as put a description link down below for you guys. So yeah, I'm completely happy with this. Like I said, I've had it in the car for a week. It drives really good. It gives the car a much better feel. But if you want to go a little bit more cost effective, this thing is like $330 for the STI short shifter. The only difference is the shift lever itself. Basically, as far as what you could see, all the plastic stuff's the same. You guys could just replace a different short throw shifter brand in here, and I think that would give you a bigger advantage, because the thing I still don't like about the STI short shifter is the shifter height itself is still the same height. Some of the other brands would get that shift knob, the top of it, probably about 1.5 inches shorter, which would give you like a 35% shorter shift between gears over the OEM one. I'm not sure exactly what this would be. I would say it's probably like 15 to 20% shorter, but I am happy with it. I do like the fact that it is STI, it's OEM, it fits perfect. I think the bushings and stuff that are down inside the center housing that holds that shifter linkage, that must be revised or something internally, because the feel is completely different. I mean, you can hear it's just notchier. It feels more like an STI transmission when you slide it between gears. Everything works just like it's supposed to too. The reverse gear goes right in, no issues. So this is in neutral here, and I feel like the shifter's position is more back, where the other one, when it was in neutral, I felt like it was almost more up here, like in third gear. So I think it just gives you that, it just brings that shifter closer to the driver, giving the driver more of a feeling of control, because it's more cockpit centered versus so far forward and away. So yeah, I like it. So yeah, it's 10:12 p.m. That was a good 1.5 hour install. We'll finish up the test drive portion. I'll edit it so it all seems like one video to you, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment down below, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the Perrin front mount intercooler install tonight. So I'm gonna get the top of the intercooler off. I wanna get the bumper off and kind of get prepped so I can get back out here in the morning at like 7 a.m. and get this finished, because I have to work tomorrow afternoon. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.